6D diesels. So for this week's episode, what we thought we'd do is we're not going to start anything. We're probably not even going to fix anything. We're going to give you just a rough look round at what we do and what I get up to and what rubbish I buy on a monthly basis. Look at this for an utter top quality turd. Because the trouble is, to take things apart and sell parts, you have to buy absolute crud-ish. Not, yeah, well, yeah, you know what I'm going on about. To allow you to pull it apart, sell the good bits, buying the rest, scrap stuff. So, this month, so far, what we're going to do is we're going to take a cruise around the yard, and I'm going to show you, in a month, what I've purchased, what traders of ours have purchased that we're fixing, and some of the better stuff that we may possibly have bought or acquired to sell, and then some of the stuff that we've had to buy specifically to repair customer stuff that they bought that was rubbish. That makes loads of sense, doesn't it? So, this is a 2000 T4 2.5 TDI. Now, you'd say, oh, it don't look too bad from there. Yeah, it's rubbish. So, I'm not going to tell how much money I had to part with this thing because it's an embarrassment, and it's got one of them bonnet bras, which I never understood why you'd put one of those on a vehicle. Apparently the idea is it stops your bonnet getting stone chipped. But why? Because you now can't see the bonnet because you've got that black disaster stuck on there. So what you do, run it for like 10 years with that on there, and when the thing's finally rotted out, take the bonnet bra off, and you've got a lovely bonnet, and the rest of your van's narnered. If the bonnet bra doesn't rot your bonnet out anyway, folding loads of water and gook against it. So we've decided that bonnet bras are pointless. Bras are on girls' boobies, not bonnets. Remember this, people. Right, so we've moved round here to the other side of my top quality T4 purchase. Problems. That door don't open. It's got a bit of a dent there. It's got an MOT failure like the bottom of the Titanic. We seem to be missing. That should be a window. And then when we go in here, man would have hoped for... No, it's got one of them interiors made out of pallet wood. I mean, look at that. That's horrible. This bit's shit. So basically, this is dead. So if anyone wants any transporter bits, it does run. The engine's actually quite good. So is the gearbox. Linkage isn't very good because it is like stirring sick trying to get a gear. And if anyone needs a top quality hippie pallet wood conversion, you hit me up. We might even let you have it so I don't have to burn it. I'll just go and show you the back because that's even better. Right, so we have come round the rear of the vehicle and you think, oh, that looks quite reasonable. No, it's been hit in the arse by a juggernaut. As you will notice, this body line here is a bit out that way because something hit it flat out in the tow bar. Unbelievably, the door's still open, and I'm not sure that the doors are the original ones off of the vehicle. Well, that door opens and completely bowed and none at the rear floor and pushed the rear side out. Oh, and it comes with some free charcoal. Just what a fella needed. Anyway, so this is number one purchase of the month, so that's rubbish. Oh, we're going to take that apart. And if you've spotted anything you need, hit me up. It'll be on FaceTube Marketplace. And then you can ask me for bits. And don't ask me for a good steering wheel that doesn't do that because we haven't got one. Right, so next top quality purchase of the month. It's like T4 breeding season. I don't even like T4s. Lots of people do. It's your choice. I don't quite understand them. You can stand up in a Sprinter camper van. You can't in one of these anyway. If you're happy with your T4, that's good. So, this is basically the same year, bar bit. I don't know whether the front's different. It's all a bit free floating. 2.5 TDI T4. This one You may have seen in one of our earlier videos, Parks in the background was leaning against it because he's been here. Bought this at the beginning of the month. Had a bit of a dinger. And died. And the windscreen fell out. And then something landed on it and it's done. YouTube subscriber, he's just bought one, it blew up. So that's on its way. Engine in his, so got a use for that. So you need any white T4 bits. It's got the slidey windows in the doors. I can't really think of any other upsides. No. I bet you it hasn't got a good steering wheel. No, it hasn't got a good steering wheel. So, purchased 2 of them. And just so that no one accuses me of not fixing what looks like a good T4, this side, as you can see, is where there's had a tree here. Bit of tree there. Bit of treeage here. The windscreen fell out. And then I think some tree might have landed on here. So the whole lot has gone, it is dead. Completely. But it will come in useful. On the continuation of the T4 breeding season, we have this. This is a 2.45 cylinder T4 flatbed thingy. Now this is actually a mate and a customer's, James. So we thought we were going to end up with this to sell, but then he got attached to it, decided to keep it, so we're making this into their new promotional vehicle. If you've never heard of them, they're a company called Unidome, makes some really cool domes for like outside seating stuff. They're a really good idea. Go and look them up. So this will be Unidome's new promotional vehicle once I've made it look like a split screen with that big wobbly body on the back. Remember the one that had the square tray and then the canvas? We're doing that to it. Banded steels. Lift it up a bit because it drives idiously on them stupid things at the moment. And if you've seen the width of the rear tyres, which are like this, why would you do that? Because why do you want really wide tyres on the back of a front-wheel drive vehicle? I don't understand it. But this is good. We like this. This is fine. So, purchase number 3 of the week. So this is a 2006 56 Mercedes Sprinter right van. 1 owner, 2 owners actually. Hang on, I'll tell you, I think it's 2 owners. Just go in the rubbishness in here. Two owners, Paris Police, and then the fella I bought it off of. It's rubbish. I mean, I sort of bought it blind. It is horrible. It hasn't done very many miles, but it's beaten the crap. Dirty, rusty. I mean, it's rusty everywhere. The windscreen panel's rotted out of it. The sills are rotted out of it. The doors are rotted off of it. It does run, but the alternator's tossed. I've dumped it round the back in disgrace with the T4 collection round here because it's like a swamp this side of the yard, but it can just sit here because it's depressing me. I'll show you the other side of it. It doesn't get any better. It is, well, it's not even a Sprint Triumph, so the gearbox ain't worth nothing. It's just a manual. It hasn't really got any good bits. I was hoping for a good single passenger seat, but Welsh Police must have decided to wedge 3 people in the front rather than just 1 and have a long wheelbase van. Rubbish. Nice to say that it looks better from this side, but it doesn't. So, it's got the plastic windows, apart from someone's tatted Bruno in this one for some strange reason. And it's rubbish. The doors are rusty. That door might be good. Everything else on it is rusty and rubbish. We'll have a look in the back. That's even worse. So, as you can see, the back doors are rubbish because gaffer tape fixes holes in vans, you know. Yep. Oh, that's some of that roofing, stick-on roofing felt stuff. That's renowned for fixing rusty holes in things. So, as you can see, doesn't get an awful lot better. It obviously leaks like a sieve. Back cross members rotted out of it. It's just generally a bit sticky. Headlining's got ingress of mould. Does have a riot rack. It's probably one of the best bits. And I suppose it's got some of the Mercedes seats that I've never managed to sell in the back of it. So let's be honest, it doesn't get much better around here. This is all gooey, leaking water. This bit falling off. I mean, I have got the world's largest amount of poorly fitted switches and bad wiring and a dangly thing. And it did come with some wiper blades and a new thrust bearing. Oh no, that's not a thrust bearing. That's an alternator pulley. So, yeah, basically, it's rubbish. Upsides, I suppose. Dash plastics over there are all right. Oh, it's got a load of cack and nastiness into glove box. That can stay in there. Yeah, I think I'm struggling for the upsides. Yeah, driver seat's ruined. Cab mat's worn out. Steering wheel's rubbish. Yeah, really? Oh yeah. Should look at things occasionally before I buy them. But anyway, you can't win every time. So I'll have to try and drag does the central locking work? Well, it works on one door. Not on any of the rest. Oh no, it's coming around. Oh, well, that might be another tenner earned. And it comes with a broken tyre inflator. So, this wasn't such a good purchase, but we'll get out of it. Right. Just shut this here for full effect. So next on the purchase list, customer stuff. So someone said a couple of weeks ago, comments, what a lovely tidy Vito camper van that is parked by your outside ramp. Yes, bless them, they haven't long bought it. It looked lovely and tidy. It's got an MOT history, like a boat anchor, and sadly someone had paid to have it all covered up, badly covered up. So we will fix anything weldy wise, but it came to a point where I can fix that, but economically it's not worth it. It's a nice little van, it's a couple of owners, it's got a pot roof, it's got a full camper interior conversion that we have taken out at the moment, and we'd stripped it to what you see now, basically to assess how bad it was. Now it's rotten in the back, we found that pretty quickly. It's rotten in the rear floor, we found that pretty quickly. Then we started to peel this off, and I'll give you a tour of that in a minute. So they paid good money for this. Nothing against the people that sold it to them, to be honest. It came through a dealer. It was sold as spare or repair, because it had lots of black gook stuck to it, and the black gook was hiding an awful lot of nastiness. So the cunning plan for sorting that out is parked here. So it's actually the second time now we will have owned, bought, sold, bought back and sold this. So this basically, that's 51 plate, this 51 plate. That's a, same as this I think, isn't it? That's a 110 CDI, this is a 108 CDI. Difference between the two being 95,000 miles, rusty as rusty, 114,000 miles, not been a camper van, not been parked up all its life. This thing is not really rusty. It has got a horrible patch someone's welded there on the sill that will cure and make nice, sorry. And it has got a tiny little bit of pickle across the bottom of that door there, and on the wing on the other side. But structurally, and the rest of it is mint. So what we're going to do for these nice people is take all of that roof, pop stuff, bits, turny seats, mat, door cards are mint in that one, the interior is mint in that one, engine and gearbox is lovely in that one, it's a little bit floppy in this one, out of that one and put it in this one. So basically they then get a structurally sound Vito camper van with a pot roof, a nice interior. It'll all have to be colour matched obviously, because this one does have a bit of the bumper peel going on. It's got some better quality slidey side windows than the nasty stuck in things are in there, So all that sort of stuff can stay. What I'm going to quickly do then, we'll have a look around this Vito, and I'll show you. Honestly, the trouble with these little vans is they rusted really badly from new due to the paint, and what looks lovely from the outside, you can be hiding a lot of nastiness. So we'll start with the white Vito. Now, as you can see, look, if you know anything about Vitos, that's an attached Vito door handle. That doesn't happen. They fell off 10 years ago. Door cards, thing's done nothing, it's beautiful. Floor mats, nowhere, but then the signs start to come in, so you've got a load of bleed coming out of the top of the sill on there. Obviously, it's got a full interior. These seats match the rears and all the bed and stuff that would be in the back, because it was done professional conversion at 2 years old. Steering wheel's beautiful, and when you actually, if I stand here and you look down the side of it, I mean, it's pretty square until you get the stuff like this. So the wing was all full of pog through here. So we took the wing off, and then you can see it's had a patch in there. Now that isn't killer, you could repair on that. And then you came, because we were looking up from underneath, and you came round here, and then you looked at that. That is horrible, and it continues all the way through the bottom in there. Then you swing round here, and you looked in here, so there's a big hole there, and the pigeons have landed again all the way through here. You can see the hole into the structural engine subframe mount there. Then we peeled this wing off. Now obviously there should be a structural link bar here that had fell off, and then you get into this. So someone, basically, this was rotted out into the inner wing. They put a wing on it, and they took a piece of tin, hammered it in here, and they sort of blob welded it underneath through here. Because if you look up, if you look in here, see, it's got the black gook, and if you look up, it doesn't look too bad, and that's what's hiding behind it. I mean, you can see the cuts, it's not welded at all, it's rubbish. And then that's obviously the original wing, and then it continues down in there. We've got a big beaten in piece of tin, not attached here, beaten in there, chassis legs rotten. And then obviously bumper mounts. We're assuming that there is filler. Yeah, that is body pog. And then there's some more trails of nastiness there. But I mean, sort of thing you've got to be careful of, because you get in here, and same again, really clean door cards, dead clean on the thing. I mean, she's only done 97,000 miles. I mean, dash is lovely. These seats are beautiful. Same again, hardly any wear on the things, but you can see the sill bleeding down there. And then you get around the back here. So these rear flitches there's nothing on the inside of there. That's gone completely. Same this side. The outer's all right, but on the inner there's no rear cross member. And when the floor came out in the back, so this is the front of it in here. If you look down in there, you'll see there's a big hole there. There's a big hole there. It continues all the way on into the front of the wheel arch down there. If we come round and open this side loading door, same again, all looks quite fresh and nice. And then you look down there and see the whole floor. I mean, this is nothing but under seal. It's all gone. Wheel arch is knackered. That was the sort of passenger's wing where it started. Now, as you can see, this passenger's wing is nothing but filler. You can see the fiberglass matting there, and then all the pog over the top. So she is dead. I mean, the rest of the panels are lovely. I mean, it looks really square. I mean, the person that said that's a really nice looking Vita camper van, it does look really nice. There's a load of stuff hiding in the roof up there because it leaks continuously, and the hinges are about to fall out the back of it. Right. Oop. So basically, that's the job. And then this one, which we know is really good. So all solid in the inner wings, no rot. Solid in the doors, no bleeding, but as you can see, it had spent the last 6-8 months getting builderised. So it's only done 114, but she's a little bit scruffy. I mean, it's all little bits, like the door stays are all a bit worn out. You see a little tiny bit of pickle across the bottom of the door, but the door's structurally sound. But the rear floor, wheel arches, all that sort of stuff, back door might have been off, something else was once yellow. It's good. Come into the back. Places to look on the Vito. So up here, all of this is pucker. There's no underseal, no lift, no pickle. Same within the back corners in here. The wheel arches are, I know because I know what's under this floor. I've had it all out. Are perfect. Back valance. Go around here. Wheel arch corners all behind here are good. Rear wheel arches are good because Vitos always go here. And then along the sills. I mean, the main giveaway, if you ever go and look at one, is originally they have a jack hole point there that pops out and one to match it on the back. If you want and see one that's been welded up, go back round here. One, want to be nice and wary, like, see, that sill looks really quite good. It's all painted black and lovely. There's no jack hole at the front. And there's a jack hole at the back, so that front sill's overplated. And then the same, if you come this side, see, no jack hole. And the rear one, so this whole front sill, you can see the body filler leaping out of it here. And then rear wheel arch giveaway. See that all lift in here, that's all POG. And this lip, when you put your finger around the back of it, should be squared off. It's sort of squared off there. And then it goes flat here, because that there is nothing but body filler. So, we'll get that done Christmas period. I think we're going to make a major start, because obviously we've got to try and pick this pot roof off and then cut a really big hole in the top of this one. Paint that roof to match that, and then transfer seats, mats, carpets, linkage parts, whatever on this one is better on whatever on, sorry, this one here is better, goes on this one, and then this one can go in the bin. Ta-da! We've got a sort of good things now. So this, bought this 2 weeks ago. So basically, one company from new, 35 S12, so that's a 2.3 long wheelbase iTop Iveco, pre-facelift, Mark 3, Mark 4, depends how you look at your Ivecos. 68,000 miles, genuine. So, demo, lease company, Salisbury Furniture Shop, obviously on lease, and then they kept it afterwards. And then when he retired a couple of years ago, he kept it, and then he decided he no longer needed it anymore, and we nabbed it. So apart from the slightly strange grey bit at the top that none of us had figured out yet, got to ask him, that looks like it had an awning on it, but it's never had an awning on it. It's a bit mint, and a little dinger here. But it has been loved. It's not been beaten. It's never seen a wheelbarrow, dirt, muck, nothing. It is like a new pin inside, and it's lovely in the back. Only things we have to attend to, because it's never spent any time moving, more of its life parked up, it does appear that the torsion bar pivots have sort of seized up. So that's going to need a bit of beating on. The MOT has just run out, but we're not worried about that because it ain't rusty. You heard it, it's an Iveco, and it ain't rusty. Even I was shocked. And the dash gauge, because someone will have mileage checked it by now, the little panel died, or the dash died. So so we've got that out, had that repaired, so we know exactly what the mileage is. So at the moment I've got temporary set of clocks wedged in there so I can move it, and then we'll get the other ones back, fixed, put them back in, then she's pucker. I'll give you a tour of my lovely purchase. As you will be able to see, it doesn't have any of the big dings in the rear doors, and drop tested. 2 original keys. And the door locks work. Look at that, see? Now that has never seen a hard day's work in its life. It's straight, it's clean, no smashed bits of plastic, no ripped off door retainers. Let's just clip that one back in out. Plastic steps complete. It's clean, lovely. All it's ever done, all its life, is move furniture. Occasionally, new stuff delivered to people, old stuff to the tip. Even got the spare wheel carrying bracket. Do have the spare wheel as well. I'll go and show you the cab. Look at this. So, I haven't cleaned on this cab mat. I'm a bit scared to stand on it because it's grey and got no holes in it. You know your Iveco's, even the fuse panel has both of its clips and is still attached. The glove box functions. It has the books. Look at these seats. That one's got a side on it. The plastics here, they're not smashed. The door cards, they're not smashed. The headlining's grey. Even the interior light works. And it's got the Go Faster Racing seatbelt pad things on it. They might have to come off because I don't like them. They're rubbish. I can go in the bin. It is absolutely cracking. So via a bit of a small scrub in this side, it's about that long, and the bit of grey paint above your head that a man can sort, it's cracking. I don't think I've seen her. 2002, 68,000 mile Iveco. Well, since about 2005. So we're going to sprucey brucey this up, make it look lovely, polish it, sort the paintwork, and it will be for sale. Man was having a crazy idea last week that he's got enough stuff to make this into a big camper van. But whether he's got the time. But if you were considering making yourself a nice camper van, I've got the windows and I've got an entire, it's an Auto Stratus that I've decided to take apart. Massive, great motorhome, proper thing, but it's rusty and the body's crap, for all the bits for the interior. So this is a good purchase. On this week's exciting repair side of things, we have sensible mild 15 plate Crafter tipper. Quite square looking ish thing. Now, a friend of mine bought this locally off of Facebook Marketplace, off the firm that the stickers would have been on the doors, but they've obviously been taken off, for a very sensible price, because it had had a bit of a exciting incident. So in a minute we'll zoom out and you'll see we'll come to that now. There is some more obviously, because we had some metal brake pipes that were pianoed and ripped out, but they're in the scrap pile out the back. This lot I haven't got around to chucking there yet. So basically when this thing behind me came in, it had no brakes, the ABS warning light was on, it didn't go because the electric fuel pump in the tank, that wouldn't work. Had no handbrake and obviously no foot brakes. The pedal just went to the floor, and this rear wheel here was still slightly locked up. So this is what we'd actually taken off of it. So it had a bit of an incident, and we'll go and explain that in a minute, because I mean honestly there you do worry about some people in the world. So this is what remains of the handbrake cables. That's the mangled remnants of the handbrake actuator that the lever in the cab pulls on. That's the handbrake mounting bracket. This is the remnants of the truck's wiring harness. It goes from the front to the back. So this does all the lights, ABS, they were all torn off, no ABS sensors left. This is the main rear vehicle earth that had died, hence why it wouldn't go, because the fuel pump didn't have an earth. And then obviously this here is the spare wheel carrier. That is slightly bananaed. And then here are the spare wheel carrying mounting thingies that are supposed to be straight. And then when obviously the handbrake cables had been ripped out of said vehicle, they're these, it pulled so tightly that it tore, obviously there's a cable running on the inside of this, it ripped that out, and then when it ripped the cable out of the hub, on a Sprinter or a Crafter, handbrake shoes are on the inside of the rear discs. So it put the handbrake on, proper styly, like it tore the ends off the handbrake actuators and put the handbrake on permanently. But that did not stop them. They kept going till it chewed all the linings off, and then it did that to a set of brake discs. Can you see it's all nicely melted in there? And that one, see, that's, yeah. So I'm going to go back over here now because we have repaired it now. So, and show you how they managed this brilliant feat. Right, so what you'll see here obviously is we have now repaired this. So you will see the handbrake cables are back on, the metal brake pipes around the outside here, they're all back on, ABS sensors plumbed back in. There's a wiring harness that goes all the way to the front, and obviously the brake lines go all the way to the front. Now what these top quality Champions managed, I have still got, because you can see these mounting brackets for the spare wheel carrier are still a bit bent. This one's not too bad. That one over there is supposed to be like that, and it's like that. Managed to get, coming off of a building site, a dumpy bag wrapped round the back of the prop shaft. So most normal people would have thought, might want to stop and take that off. Now, the one other thing I have got to do, you'll see the state of this prop shaft seal, this diff seal guard here. I've got to change on that tomorrow. And you'll see it's a bit chewed where it was all engulfed in dumpy bag, because the dumpy bag was now swirling around in here. So what it then, funnily enough, did was got hold of these handbrake cables, and then this whole wiring harness here I have retrofitted is out of another one. We'll go up the front in a minute, because what it did was get hold of all of this, yeah, spare tyre carrier, and here you'll see is the tipping gear. Now the tipping gear normally when the body is down is sat here. So the poor tipping gear, that got a bit of a pasting too and got ripped out of the body at the top. And we just kept going until it engulfed all of this into a dumpy bag, piano wired these brake pipes to the front. It tore them off across the top of the fuel tank, off across the top of the engine bay, and pulled them out of the ABS module. The wiring harness, she kept going until it pulled it clean out of the cab, sheared it in half underneath the driver's seat, and then continued, continued to pull on it beforehand until it tore it all out the back and off of the rear lights. Ripped all the ABS wiring out that's there, mushed this all up with the stuff, and then funnily enough, once it had finally torn this section off here that does the main vehicle earths, it stopped the pump from running the vehicle, and the vehicle came to a grinding halt, obviously with no brakes, and the handbrake cables ripped out and the brakes jammed on after we'd burnt them out. So we're now going to go and have a look in the front. Obviously this looks quite good. I've just finished this, it's taken me a week. So all the wiring is back on its original points. All the brake pipes, I've got 2 plastic clips there to replace off another one. So we stripped all of this out of a dead 12 plate Crafter chassis cab and basically have refitted it back to factory where it would have been before the idiots got hold of it. Right, so you now join me in the front of the Crafter. So, well, I said it came up under the driver's seat, doesn't, it comes up under the passenger seat. So the main vehicle harness for the rear runs everything, comes in here through this big plastic grommet. Obviously there's a seat box here normally, and then goes over there, so that's into the battery, and then twists and goes up into the computers and the front of the truck just there. So basically what we managed to do was keep driving until this here, obviously we have soldered stick to this all back together, because this is the original, which one's which? This one here is the original vehicle harness here, and it ripped it off about that much further off and just shredded it completely. And then this is my new rear wiring harness coming in that has all been joined. Obviously it's inside the vehicle, so it's nice and dry. We'll fibre tape that up and make that look nice and pretty so you don't know it's been touched. And that finally brought it to a grinding halt. Beggars belief, really, doesn't it? All you had to do was pull over and take the dumpy bag you'd picked up off the prop shaft. But that was you were going for gold. I'm assuming that if we were a sensible company, that this, after we'd done this, our P45 was fairly quickly in the post afterwards. But you never know. So I'm just going to quickly tape this up now, put this retaining plate in and drop a seat box back in, and then hopefully this crafter is ready to rock and roll. Right, so basically now, via bashing the spare wheel carrier back straight, fitting a new cage, or the spare wheel carrier mounting plates back straight, bolting that on, putting a wheel arch on that seems to have evaporated on the back, and possibly attending to the front brakes because they don't look very good because we've all new on the back. This thing, in theory, should work. Now, I have covered the number plate up just to avoid embarrassing the death out of whatever cretin it was that broke this in the first place, and you can't tell where it came from. So if I lean in here, turn ignition off, turn ignition on, hang on, ooh. Ta-da! What we now have is a functioning Volkswagen Crafter again. I'll take it in the cab in a minute. Got no ABS light. We've got brakes. We've got handbrake. We've got a fuel tank supply. I'll just turn up. We'll go around the back because we've got lights. We've got all that posh stuff that it used to have before some crayon eating person got hold of it. Right, so here we go. Up in the Crafter. Now, well, we have got one fault. Oop. For some strange reason it's thinking it's got too much engine oil in it, but if I do that and the wash fluid needs topping up, we are all off. We have, hang on, we have the lights, we have the handbrake, we have the brakes, and obviously we all the geary stuff is surviving. So she is quite happy. We'll attend to the oil sensor, which I think is the one in the sump has gone south. And we might get posh and put some washer fluid in it. And then if we come round here, now anyone may notice that that those are Sprinter rear lights, because it had some horrible LED things on there that were all smashed I didn't like, so we fitted them. I think that looks quite smart. All the lights are functioning, the brakes are functioning, everything is functioning, and basically this lot can go in the skip. Job almost done. Right, last acquisition of the week. Mihai Hiribushi L200 extra cab, full work, low mileage, 2.5 4D 56T turbo diesel, 5-speed manual, pickup truck. She's only done 96, genuino mileage. We've always looked after it. It's here because our customer has bought himself a new shiny Hilux. So this is to go. There's nothing wrong with it. It's lovely. We're just about to put a new MOT on it. We will clean it, spruce it, service it. It's pretty square. I mean, it's got no big dings. It's got the nice set of the BF Goodrich all-terrains on it. The seats aren't ruined. The carpets are good. It's not bent, battered. It's got a top on the back of it. It has a tow bar. It is for sale. It ain't going to be the world's cheapest of things. I'm thinking it's worth about 3,700 quid. All lovely, all done. It ain't, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a cracker. If you want it, shout. Right, and we'll be able to see. We have here another one of these T4s. So this is a nice YouTube subscriber. Phoned me not last week, it might have been the week before. He bought this in Glasgow. Didn't get very far, it blew up. There are some rotten people in this world selling things. So anyway, he contacted us, asked if we had a 2.5 TDI engine. We said yes, we did, because obviously we've been hoarding T4s. So we're going to take the engine out, the white dead one out the back, refresh on it a bit, put it in this. And I'm sorry, Simon, this arrived on one of them big wobbly Eastern European driven car transporters from Glasgow earlier on, and it no go, and they were stuck out in the road. So I've borrowed your recovery truck as a ramp to get it in here, because obviously this is in being fixed, which it is fixed. So thank you for that, even though you don't know. Anyway, I know this is a slightly random video, but it's all sort of there. So for the fella that asks about the Capri all the time, the Capri is just over there, and Fudgy has had a week off full-time Capriing. And the Capri is starting to look pretty good. The boy can panel beat and weld, you've got to give him that. So what we're going to do Wednesday is we're going to do a Capri update with Fudgy on his Pride and Joy that's sat on my ramp back there. And then I'm going home now, because I've had enough of T4s, I've had enough of Crafters. It's cold, wet and miserable. Thank you very much. Al, 6D Diesels.